Hi everyone, my name's James Ashcroft. I'm a dual UK-US citizen and I studied history at UCL for undergrad from 2012 to 2015. I now work as a management trainee at ByteDance in Beijing, which is the parent company that owns TikTok. As a management trainee at ByteDance, I'm spending a year rotating through several different teams within our monetization department. So this is looking at essentially how to take a free-to-download app like TikTok and generating revenue from it, which in this case is principally from ads. I've spent some time in the ad policy and ad ops team, in brand strategy and global business marketing, and now in the client solutions team, which is part of sales. So my current role is to help take client ad campaigns, get them online, monitor them, and then afterwards perform analysis to let the client know what went well and what could go better next time. At the end of this year, I will be placed permanently in one of these teams in a foreign market outside of China to help develop the business further. There was very little intentional about my current career path. In 2015, when I graduated from UCL, I came to China for the first time on a graduate scholarship to read MA China Studies at Peking University. At the end of that year, I returned to London to work as a management consultant at Deloitte, in an industry in which I had interned every summer when I was studying history at UCL. It wasn't really until the course of those 2 years that I began to have a feeling that I had unfulfilled linguistic and experiential ambitions back in China. So I took a sabbatical, which turned into a resignation in the end, to study Mandarin intensively. In the course of those studies, in 2019 to 20, the second of the 2 years back in Beijing, I was approached on LinkedIn by a recruiter from ByteDance, which at the time was a company I had never heard of, but following my offer in December 2019, and then when I signed the offer in February of 2020, TikTok had grown in popularity even just in the course of those months. And so I began to realize that this was actually a pretty cool opportunity to work for the parent company of such an explosively popular app. It's hard for me to say if I will stick around in the internet industry forever, but it's certainly a place where I'm learning a lot, and that is really one of the most important things in your career, I think. If you can enjoy working with your colleagues and you feel like you're developing and growing, then you're in a good spot. I think in a lot of parts of the world, including the UK, many people have quite a narrow view of the skills you gain from a history degree. Of course, it's nothing about the dates or an actual understanding of the subject matter. It's about taking large quantities of information. This is a challenge that is going to become greater rather than the reverse in the course of our lifetime. Assimilating that information and presenting it in a concise, articulate, cohesive manner. I believe that the ability to communicate clearly and persuasively is a skill, perhaps in the advent of text messaging, our shorter and shorter attention spans. This is a skill that is less prevalent, perhaps, today than it used to be. This is therefore an example of real value that you can bring to an organization, an educational institution for whom you research, for which you work in the future. That, to me, is invaluable. If you're passionate about history and would like to develop the valuable skills required of a historian, I would strongly encourage you to consider pursuing a degree in history at UCL. In recent years, I believe the arts and humanities, and to a lesser extent the social sciences, have suffered from unfair stigma as being luxury subjects, as having poorer return on investment than those in the STEM field. I am here in no way to diminish the importance of their study. They are vital. But I would consider you to look too at the skills required by employers in 2020. These include, in the top 10, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, the ability to learn quickly, complex problem solving. These are skills that you do not need to study in the STEM field to acquire. I would therefore encourage those passionate about history to follow through on their passion and take it as a degree subject. If I did have to give some advice to my younger self, I would say the following. 1, try to make the most of the broader environment at UCL. I probably spent too much time in the history department or only with those who were also studying history. UCL is so rich and diverse in its community, and I would encourage you to take advantage of that in dorms, through extracurricular activities, make the most of it. Second, Although I've been very clear about the fact that you need not fear studying history because it's not a vocational subject, remember that one of the most important things you can gain is the ability to learn quickly. That does not mean that there are not, in a short period of time, hard skills that can be required. If you have free time over the summers when you're not interning or working part-time, take advantage of the amount of time that you have as a student that you might not have when you're working full-time to take online courses, to intern, to develop the hard skills that are required in a short time frame, perhaps over the next 2 or 3 years. In the future, those required skills will be different. The thing that will not change is the ability to learn quickly, but that does not mean that you should not be investing in learning those skills at the time at which they're relevant. Third and finally, learn a language. If you have the chance to study history with a language, take it. To study abroad will be life-changing. To be able to relate to people from another culture will be life-changing. Take that opportunity while you have the time to pursue it as a part of your degree. I cannot emphasize that enough. Studying Mandarin has changed my life. I wish that I had started sooner. Good luck, you guys.